Hey, Steph and Sarah from Optimize You. We are talking about the 3 pillars of health: exercise and movement, nutrition and sleep. They're such fundamental, foundational aspects of our wellness. And we call them the 3 pillars because if you don't have all 3, then the little stool tips over, right? And you just don't feel your best. So, talking about movement and exercise, and I love when you talk about your relationship with movement and like how it shows up for you in your life.
Yep.
I want to hear more about it.
Yeah. So I'm not an athlete and I don't actually like to move that much. I would rather lay down all day long.
Right.
That is the honest truth.
Sure.
That's how I feel. But that doesn't actually work.
No.
That does not serve me. And so I have figured out that if I don't move, I will be depressed.
Right.
I will feel unhappy as a human, and that does not work. And so, there's been times in my life where I have been able to do a lot more movement, and that has felt really good. This is a season where my list is longer and I don't have a ton of time. And
like you don't have an hour and a half to go to a class or go to the gym or...
No, I literally don't have that. So I have figured out for me that if I just put my headphones on in my house and just start to get in the mood, like turn up the music, and even if my kids are running around getting ready for school, and get out the bands and get out the weights and look at my stairs and be like, I'm going to run up you. I'm literally running up and down the stairs in my own house as my kids are getting ready for school.
Like they're coming down the stairs and you're running
I'm
up.
passing them. And this week, my 14-year-old said to me, good job, Mom. For real. Good job, Mom. It's like we're high-fiving in the stairway as she's like going down to make her lunch.
Right. So what's the difference between, okay, so how long do you do this?
So 25 minutes, I am winning. Like,
right.
That is enough. Non-negotiable 7 minutes to stretch afterwards and a little foam roll. I do not feel good if I do not do that stuff. My body is more inflamed than other people's bodies.
Yeah.
I am mid-40s, so it just looks a little bit different for me.
So what's the difference between how you feel pre-exercise, pre-movement, and then post?
Night and day. I'm like pumped up after my 25 minutes.
You've got the endorphins moving.
Yeah, doing my wall splits on my wall, like waving to my kids after they're done brushing their teeth. But I have my headphones on, so I'm in my own little world.
Right.
If I didn't have my headphones on, it wouldn't look the same. I wouldn't be able to do it.
And why the commitment to this?
Because it's non-negotiable. It's literally non-negotiable. I do not feel good if I don't do it.
Yeah.
I do it for my mental health. I do it because I want to feel strong. Yeah. I'm not willing I don't actually want to lay around. It's just what I feel like doing.
Yeah. But
I want to feel strong in my body, and it matters. And I want to be able to keep up physically with my kids and my friends and my family. It's important to me.
And I like this story, and we talk about this all the time because you share all this stuff when we're working, and it always makes me laugh. But the truth is, it just doesn't have to be that complicated.
Right.
And anytime you can get the movement in, it's that instant gratification of the endorphin release.
Yeah.
And people really do feel a change even after 5-7 minutes of movement.
It matters.
And it makes
a
a
lot.
huge difference.
It matters a lot.
For your well-being.
Yeah. So, I've just made it work for me because again, I'm not an athlete. It's not something that I have a propensity to love, but I have to do it. And I have made it work for me in my house, around my kids, and it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
It really does.
Well, I'm very inspired by that.
You're inspired by that?
I mean, I think that one of the biggest roadblocks for people when they talk about incorporating exercise into their routine is, where am I going to fit it?
Yeah.
Where am I going to put it? How am I going to... It's the first thing that gets cut off the list for people.
Yeah.
And it's ironic because it's the most essential, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I know that we're in different camps on this. Sarah and I always argue, is it nutrition or is it movement that is like the most important? And the truth is probably that it's both.
Yeah.
But we just like to like have some banter about it. And I just think, what's the easiest, most accessible way for somebody to feel a change in themselves?
Yeah.
I think movement is the gateway to that.
And I would agree with that. And, you know, something that's always interesting for me is I have a lot of patients who are very, very athletic, and they tell me some days, some weeks, some month, it's hard for me to get out there and exercise.
Of course.
And the number one thing is just put on those shoes and just walk out the door or walk up your own dang stairs. Right? So if I can do it, you can do it.
Oh, absolutely. And we talk a lot more about how to set up short-term goals and long-term goals and how to create action plans around all three pillars, but specifically exercise and movement and surviving to thriving. And if you want more information about the course, link in bio.